Coy, I guess it's the obvious question, but just what's this process been like for you? And I think your teammates said even kind of in the immediate aftermath of the injury, you weren't really emotive on the field. You were just kind of encouraging them to keep going. So how maybe easy or tough has it been for you to kind of keep embracing that attitude as you've been going through your own kind of rehabilitation?
Yeah, that's a good question. I always see football as like it's a tough man's game. If you play it long enough, you're gonna get hurt. And I've never really been hurt before until this. So, on the field, kind of looked down, kind of saw it was snapped. Probably knew it wasn't great, but if you're on the football field, you're on the football field. You gotta be tough about it. So, they popped it back in on the field. Got the air cast, all that jazz, and then I got up onto the little cart thing, whatever we call those, and then I looked to my right, and then every single one of my teammates was there. So it was a really important game for us at the time. We were just coming off our loss to Ohio State, and I knew we needed to get back on track for UConn. So I just kept telling them to keep going, keep fighting, and don't worry about me. It's my leg. I'm not gonna die or anything like that. And then once I got into the training room during the UConn game, I just pretty much asked them, is this a career-ending injury? Because I looked down, obviously wasn't very good. And they said, no, not really. It's going to be like a 4 to 5 month thing. So once I knew that, it's about all I could control is just my attitude every day and doing what I can to help my team.
Jim and Jeff, I know you're going to be playing, but in a unique situation, you're a quasi-coach out there now. How has that helped you as a player? If you've been able to learn things from this position that you're in, and how have you been able to pass it on to this young line that is doing extremely well?
Yeah, I've had a lot of experience. Obviously, that was my 40th start when I got hurt, so kind of know the game, kind of what we want to accomplish. But I've also been really, really blessed with older guys who had helped me kind of bring me along when I was a freshman and sophomore. So just kind of trying to be that role for other players, definitely for the offensive line, but mostly for our entire team. If someone comes out, someone drops a ball or someone fumbles it or something like that, I just try to get in someone's ear and just doing what I can. It's not where I want to be at, but also I feel like I have a lot to offer to my teammates. So, I know a lot of people when they get hurt, for the season that they kind of step away a little bit. They don't really travel. They don't really do that. But that's just never really been who I am. I'm a part of this team, and I feel like I got the, They listen to me because I've been in this, a starting role for 4 years. So, I just felt it was my duty to, travel every week, even though for the last 2 away games, I couldn't even stand how I'm standing now. I had to scoot around, couldn't put any weight on it. It's frustrating at times. It's kind of humiliating, but at times it was really tough. But, these are my guys out there. I played my heart out, and I give them everything I got. So, instead of giving them 4 quarters, the biggest part of my day is trying to win the coin toss on away games. So that's kind of what I look forward to every week.
Jeff and Matt.
Well, I think the biggest question I hear from fans is, are you definitely going to come back next year? Are you going to put your name in for the draft? How are you going to handle it?
I think it just really just depends on just how it heals. I'm about a month into the process of rehabilitating because I had to wait for, a full week to get surgery because my swelling was pretty bad. So I'll probably make a decision on that definitely after our bowl game. But, as for now, I'm part of a 7-2 football team, and it's pretty good to be around here right now.
Do you have a lean one way or the other at this point?
Not really, no. Luckily, I was hurt in the 4th game, so I can come back for my redshirt year. So I just feel blessed to be in that position. Obviously, you don't want to get hurt, but the fact that I didn't get hurt, game 6 or game 5 or what have you, it really helps a lot. So we'll just see how it goes. But, definitely don't have one bias or another. But if I can go play, make money doing it, that'd be awesome. But if I have to come back here, it's definitely a really good spot to be in as well.
Matt and Tom.
With the time that you've spent here, what's it been like to see the team having the success that it's currently having from the sidelines?
It's hard not to wake up with a smile every day. I've been a part of 3 years of really close losses, 2 losing seasons, or I guess 3 losing seasons, but 2 years not going to a bowl game. And that's those are never fun. But now you just kind of wake up with a smile on your face. You just feel thankful to be a part of the program and get to be in the building. And you see people flying around, but I think it's the most complete team we've had. we've been able to rally around injuries or, what have you not, and those sort of things. But, we feel really confident on both sides of the ball. So just be able to be in the building every day for me is a blessing. Obviously, I would love to be playing. I'd do anything to play, but you just got to be, thankful for what you got.
Tom and Taylor.
Coy, can you talk a little bit about some of the specifics of what you've been doing with Matt and how you feel when you see him out there being successful doing the things you've talked about?
Yeah, so Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't really get to go out to practice because I have to lift and rehab, but the Tuesdays and Thursdays are my lifting days. So I go to every meeting in the morning, so I go for about an hour and a half of meetings. Then I'll go get my rehab in, and my rehab takes anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on what I have to do that day. And then, after I'm done with rehab on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have to lift. So Wednesday practice and Friday walkthroughs, I'm out there for practice, and I just kind of I watch Matt every play, give him little hints, little pointers of what he can do better, and there's always a lot you can clean up, especially if you just have one person watching you the entire time. And, not really focusing on the whole line like, Coach Hiller and Coach Danny Friend have to do. So I just help him with that. I watch his – he doesn't know this, but I break down his film every Sunday. I go in there and watch it. I just look for little things he can clean up. And, Saturday was a tough game. I knew it was probably going to be a little bit tough for offensive line because they were, a veteran D-line and a lot of strength, a lot of bull rushes and stuff. So there's some things we got to clean up, but it's mostly just keeping his confidence up, because it's not easy going out there playing as a true freshman. So just getting him to realize, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, frequently or whatnot. But it's about how you respond to them, not letting one mistake affect you that you made in the first quarter and affecting you, later in the game, stuff like that. So it's mostly he does it. He's got a great attitude. He's got a great athletic build. But I just try to help him with his confidence and just stay in the course throughout, a long season.
Coy, I know that you got in early in your career too, and when you're working with Matt, does that provide any extra motivation for you to kind of be there for him, to be something that you kind of wish you had or you did have back when you got into the game?
Yeah, I think I helped Matt a lot because like you said, I was in that situation. But Matt's a lot better player his freshman year than I was my freshman year. But he's just a different type of kid than I was. I was pretty, I'd say, more hard-headed, a little more in your face, type of style. But Matt's not really like that. Matt's probably like the opposite. I would say that. But so for me, trying to level with Matt most of the time, it's mostly me trying to find the right words to say and, trying to help him be constructive. And I think it's a really tough because, especially when Peyton's in the game, he's a blindside tackle. So, some of the hits that you can give up on the quarterback could be, really, really bad for our team. So I think that kind of plays into it a little bit. I think that kind of sometimes weighs his confidence down a little bit. So it's just mostly my job to make sure he knows he's a heck of a football player. He's progressing. He's a lot further along than I was, and that you're not going to be perfect on every block. So once he kind of, I try to help him not try to be a perfectionist. Is pretty much what I do because it's not an easy position, and you got to do it in front of the entire country watching you. So just trying to help him manage that.
The offensive line, I think they've given up the fewest sacks in the Big Ten. How pleased are you to see them excelling without you and seeing maybe guys like Hunter and Simon kind of step up from a leadership standpoint?
Yeah, I thought we're gonna have a really good offensive line coming into this year. With or without me. Obviously, I picture it with me, but I think the thing I've been happiest about is Coach DeBoer. I mean, I tell him every day. I think he's a rock star. I think he calls the right plays. I think he gets us in the best positions. We switched up our protections a little bit when I got out because it's not really fair to ask a true freshman to be on an island for 4 quarters against elite pass rush defenses. So the way Coach DeBoer's been able to scheme things up, and then Matt accelerating his play, and then obviously Caleb Jones, first-year starter, I've been extremely happy with him. Just his attitude, the way he approaches the game. And then Simon and Hunter, you kind of knew what you're going to have there. Stalwarts of this offensive line. They play extremely hard, tough, physical guys. So you knew you were going to get there. We've had years with them. And obviously they've been playing great. Caleb Jones really stepped up. And then Harry Kreider, I thought Harry's playing really, really good football. I think he's a strong, tough kid. So, him and Caleb kind of had to prove something to prove. and they've proved it, tenfold. And now it's, Matt's playing really well for a freshman, and not really for a freshman. I think he's just playing well in general. But I think the success story is the way our offensive coordinator is calling our plays and getting us in the right position to win football games.
You talk about lifting and rehab. I mean, what is kind of your daily routine at this point between what you can do physically and then what you're having to do as you progress, kind of your ankle? I know you talked about getting off the cart, and we saw you in crutches on Saturday. You're walking now.
Yeah. So, I've been working a lot on like the up and down movements, not too much anything side to side. So I was on my scooter, which I do not like my scooter that much anymore. And that was a long 6 weeks on a scooter, waiting for surgery, doing surgery, then non-weight bearing. Then last week I met with the surgeon, Dr. Porter, and he wanted me to start using my crutches, as needed. So first 4 days, the as needed kind of turned into, all right, like I feel pretty good on it. Let's try to ramp it up a little bit. So today I've been on the boot only routine, and that is only when I'm supposed to be at the stadium. But hopefully this week I progress to being able to get like into the water and doing like pool workouts and being able to like walk, like full weight bearing but in water. And then I'm supposed to get this brace that it's essentially like the boot, but allows me to move my leg more up and down, and that way I can start driving. I've not been able to drive my truck, which I am a really big fan of. So that's been the second hardest part of me not being able to play, is not being able to drive. So hopefully Wednesday that brace comes in and my life will be, pretty much back to normal.
Last one for John.
I think I heard they were calling you Coach Cronk. I mean, are you at all interested in coaching, or has it been an interesting experience to be able to do that?
I don't know. I really enjoy doing it, but I think going on the road and recruiting and that sort of stuff would be really not fun. But I told Peyton Ramsey if he becomes the head coach at Elder after his dad, retires from a job, I'll be his offensive line coach if he needs one. So I'm always open for it, but I think being on the road and being away from family would be really tough. I don't know how our coaches do it at such a high level.